Hey guys, welcome back to the shit show. On this episode, we're going to paint the car. What we've decided, we're waiting on the engine. Engine builder's away for the next month. We're just carrying on with things that we can do. My mate Jim, that you see in a lot of the videos, he's a panel beater painter, so that works out really, really well. He just sort of said to me, he said, look, we may as well paint the car now. We had to do the quarter panels and everything anyway, so we thought, well, why not clean the car up? Done a load of little repairs that needed doing. Jim straightened up all the quarter panels. I've just done all the legwork, rubbed all the imperfections out of the car, done a little bit of filler work. We're going to try and paint this car. We're going to take it down to the panel shop on Monday night. So we're going to hopefully get this thing in primer. It's looking pretty good for a 51-year-old car. Honestly, no rust repairs. I mean, I put quarter panels on it many, many years ago, but we pulled all the trims off thinking that we were going to open up Pandora's box. But look at the doors for a 70-year-old car. This is back to bare metal here. Absolutely brilliant, which is really, really nice. Makes light work for us. We're going to get it in primer. We're going to throw a black coat of paint over it. What I'd like to do is just got this awesome, really old epoxy primer underneath, and once you throw a bit of clear over that, they look killer. This is what it was like before, and I love that little bit of green coming through. So I've mixed up some colour, trying to, recreate that colour. We're going to throw that all over the all the high spots that would usually rub through, or where the sun or the natural weather would get to them, if they were sitting outside. Coat of black, coat of green over the top of all the hard lines, I should say, and then another coat of black over those bits, wet rub through those. Should also add that we picked up a new fuel tank for it. I've just made up some little braces over the top, put some dimple dies in them. Tank's huge. I'm sure some of you guys out there would be like, what the fuck? But you got to remember, it's a drag and drive car. Anything smaller, I think we're going to be stopping for fuel. I mean, this thing's going to drink some juice. Like we said, it's going to be 1500 horsepower plus. It's going to have, Kenny stepped the carb size up now. He wants to run 210/50, so it's going to drink fuel like it's going out of style. That's a 16-gallon cell. I think it works out 83, 85 litres. Obviously, being carbureted, most cars these days, guys have two tunes, one for the street, one for the track, and that's obviously because most of them are fuel injected. We don't have that luxury at the minute, so we're going to try and tune this thing for the track and hopefully get away with driving it on the road like that. I'm not sure if that's even possible yet. Depends how aggressive and cranky this thing is. It's twin carb, so I kind of feel like the only thing we can really do to tune it for the street is pull some timing out of it and maybe change the jetting. I don't really want to do that if I can get away with it. I don't mind knocking the timing back, but we'll see what Kenny says, see what the engine builder says when he gets back. We're going to try and run this thing on E85. Done some homework, and all the blower guys are telling me run it on E85, it'll keep it cool. Blowers low alcohol on E85, so we'll get this thing plumbed up very soon. What this will do, if we do that, this will tell us when you rub straight over it. If there's a high spot, it'll take the black off, or if it's level, it'll take the black off. But what you'll be left with, if there's low spots, they'll still be black. So if you just give it a quick, you just keep sanding really until there's no more black, and if that basically tells us that's flat. There's definitely no low spots in it. We're just wiping the car down, degreasing it. We're going to run a tack rag over it, and Jim's going to mask this thing up and throw some primer over it. And then we will take it down to Jim's work. He's got a booth, we'll bake it, and we're going to go satin black. Here we go, first coat of high build. Jim's about 5 pints deep, so let's see what his form's like. Working on the old beers, boys. Woo! Right, so now that Jim's finished painting the car in high field primer, he's putting a guide coat over it so that once it's cured, we can start to block the car back by hand. Absolute pig of a job, as any of you may know that if you've done this sort of work before, it's not easy, man. It's just fucking hard work. It's like going to the gym for 6 hours. You know, the nice thing with this colour primer is it shows off the lines like you wouldn't believe. Look at those rear arches, man. They're absolutely killer. That's all ready to rock and roll. I've done this front fender here, and then obviously we got passenger side door, rear quarter, finish off the boot lid, and finish off this side of the roof. You know, preparation's the key. The longer you spend on the prep, you know, the better the thing's going to look in the end. So took a marker pen out and drew around all the little imperfections. Obviously that hole in the bonnet is where I used to have a big air cleaner hanging out, but obviously because we've got the blower sticking out, we don't know where we're going to cut that yet. So we did think about waiting to paint the bonnet later, after we fit the engine, but we thought, I mean, I've done it before. I've had, you know, nice painted bonnets, and I can get away with cutting them without doing too much damage and, you know, cooking the paint. So we thought we'll paint the bonnet while we're doing it now, so then everything's painted, and then all we've got to do is, you know, take some measurements when the motor comes back and, you know, make a nice little cutout for the blower and put a piece of trim around it. So nice and smooth. You know, the car was about, Jesus, man, it was about 27 different colours by the time we'd, you know, knocked the whole thing back and fixed all the repairs. So it's really, really hard to find every little bump and bruise. So throw it in one colour and it'll soon stand out. So yeah, this is where we're at. So today is the day. Got the car sitting on the back of the truck. We're heading over to Jim's shop in Cambridge. We're going to throw the thing in the booth and put some colour on it tonight, which is pretty exciting. Got the panel prep kind of pretty much where it needs to be. We've decided to paint the car satin black. We are going to have some artwork on the side of the car. I've got the vision in my mind of where I want the car to kind of be and what, you know, what I want it to look like. Haven't exactly decided on what colours we're going to use for the side writing just yet. We're just going to see how the black comes out. Mike's, you know, done a few variations of colour. We've chosen the, you know, the style of writing and the font, so should look pretty killer. But let's get this car over to Jim, get it off the truck, chuck her in the booth, get it wiped down and prep for paint. So we'll see you soon. Wax and grease it for the last time, wipe a tack rag over it, and Jim's gonna do what he does. Look at Jim at work. Fucking killing it. Shh, not supposed to see this bit. Nice and warm in here, decent booth, loads of light, but this old girl in 2 hours is going to be black. Right, so getting serious now. We're in the paint room. Right, so 2 to 1, boys and girls. Black's up to number 5. Hardener's going up to number 5. Jim's getting his fucking spacesuit on.
I'm gonna tack it off, give it a 3/4 coat.
Here we go. Let's go, spaceman. Jim's in there getting stressed out. What Jim's doing here is he's just tacking it off. It's like a little rag, they call it a tack rag. It's kind of almost got some wax on it, I think. It's a real sticky substance that just picks up all the extra impurities floating around in the air, all the dust, all the dirt. Paint's mixed up and he's about to put the first coat on, so exciting times. Look at that, man. I can see already that, you know, the roof and the back of the quarter is pretty damn straight. I mean, we blocked this thing, so it should be relatively straight. We put a guide coat on it, so this thing's also going to have black side pipes too. Not a lot of room in the front of the car to run, you know, just a conventional set of headers down, you know, down past the block and under the car. You just can't fit them. So we're going to run a fender exit style set of headers. You know, they'll come up and out of the cylinder head, up and over the front tyre and out the front, which puts them on the outside of the chassis rail. So we're kind of, you know, we're kind of pushed to run side pipes on this thing. So I found a company that makes killer side pipes for AC Cobras. So they're going to sell me a set of their pipes to my specifications, which will be nice. So black side pipes on the car, it's just going to look tough. Man, it's starting to cover. Yeah, it's happened there on the corner as well. What's all that? Yeah, it's fucking, look at it, it's all there. All there. Wonder why. It started to react a little bit on one of the front guards, on the front fenders. We kind of figured that, you know, we didn't go bare metal on the front fenders. And I'd imagine at some point in time they'll paint it in cellulose. So I think what happens sometimes is, you know, thinners and whatnot kind of eats into the cellulose and has a bit of a reaction. So hopefully the second time round he's managed to bury those. I'll tell you what, the kid can lay down a coat of paint. He really can. I mean, this was never meant to be a show pony. It was just meant to be a good tidy up and have a go at it. There's a few little bits and pieces, but you know, you could probably block them out and get rid of them. But obviously it's satin, so if we block them, then we're going to polish it, and then it'll start to shine. So we'll have a look at the finish.
Any children watching, don't grow up to be painters. Fucking shit job.
Well, considering we did it all in what, you know, the best part of 3.5 hours, so we're going to leave it to cure overnight. I'm going to come in at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, quickly pull the masking off, throw it back on the truck and take it back to the shop. It looks fucking sick, dude. Right guys, so she's finally back from paint. Check it out. Right guys, so finally got the car back to the shop. Absolutely stoked. Got it painted, you know, last night. 6 o'clock this morning, unmasked it, put it back on the truck, and we've now got it back at the shop. So absolutely stoked with the outcome. Couldn't ask for much more. Looks killer. Looks better than what I thought. It was just a tidy and a freshen up. It wasn't a concourse paint job, but it looks amazing. So yeah. So the next step will be start fitting it all back up, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching guys. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.